to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Soma. Here. Warner. Here. Hewitt.
Here.
Wenzel.
Here.
Hoover. Here. Chanel.
Here.
Hickey.
Here. Thank you. One note, the agenda, I need to add an item under new business, so it'll be number 10, or B, subsection H. There's notice there's a request for a refund for a pavilion reservation. That's all I have.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we'll entertain public statement regarding current agenda items only. And if anybody wants to speak during the public statement, please sign the sheet there. All right, consent agenda.
Support.
We have a motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Approval of accounts payable for $225,738.33, excluding a root milk invoice.
So moved.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. $1,500 for a root milk invoice.
So moved. Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Abstain.
Moving on into unfinished business. Promotion of Tom Evanhoe from village assistant village administrator to village administrator. I believe finance and admin met with him.
Wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to talk.
Go for it.
We met last Wednesday, and talked amongst ourselves, and the recommendation was to approve Tom Evanhoe for 1 year as an interim village administrator. Within that time, I'm going to give away most of our stuff. Every 3 months, he'll be evaluated on how he's doing.
How many months?
Every 3. At 6 months, we as a group hope to, by that time, have a process put together to do interviews. At that time, we'd like to post the job for 90 days, which is another 3 months. Hopefully, depending on the cost, using a third party to weed out the resume so we're not flooded with HR or desk personnel, so someone's looking at it besides us. At the end of the 90 days, if they bring us 1, 2 candidates, as well as Tom, then we will begin an interview process at that time. So our recommendation is for Mr. Evanhoe to be moved or promoted to an interim village administrator for 1 year.
And if we vote and approve it, we will have an executive session to discuss the contract.
Right.
Details. You want to make that motion?
I will make a motion to approve Tom Evanhoe, interim village administrator, for a time period of at least 1 year.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Toma.
Yes.
Warner.
Yes.
Hewitt.
Yes.
Wenzel.
Yes.
Hoover.
Yes.
Chanel.
Yes.
Hickey. Yes.
All right, Tom, get to work. All right, moving on into new business. Nothing for introduction, discussion, items for action. Tom Titoff, request for expanded campus. Tom, you have the floor.
I do? Okay, thanks. Well, thanks for having me again. And I'm sorry I haven't been back before now to bring you up to date on what's going on with the travel ball. the May 19th, 20th, 21st, that tournament was sold out. But the high school has a regional track meet on those dates, or on that weekend, and they also start their yearly practices on some of those fields. So we can only get one diamond, the one right by the Keegan Road, and that cuts us back to 60 teams. So we have 60 teams coming in May. In July, we're full. And by the way, that May tournament, at one time we had 82 teams, and we've had to cut that much fat on it. But we have 71 teams coming in June, 71 in July. Now the 2 August tournaments, the one for the men's softball, which is later in August, or early in August, and later in August, I'm going to have a tournament for 12 and under boys and girls, Little League Baseball in the park, and also a tournament for our senior league. I'm going to run that together with that, or I'd like to. So all total, we're going to have 252 teams coming to town this summer, which is a lot of teams. It'll be over 10,000 people that we draw. These 71 teamers, we should have right around 3,500 people coming to town. I hope that doesn't cause a problem. I talked with with Rebecca about that, and there you go. And she said that we'll have some meetings on that. And she says there shouldn't be a problem. And I know that they're doing some work on Front Street, so it might be a problem. Right now, the way it's set up, with the school charging $3,600 to rent their diamonds, and the park, I got the information from Tommy. They put a bid out of $3,400, which included all the diamonds in both of the pavilions. I need to ask a question on that later, but and the camping should pull somewhere around $2,000 for every tournament, I'm thinking, and you'll get somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 for vending. So for the tournament in May, the village is going to make somewhere around $7,000, which isn't bad. Which isn't bad at all, I don't think. Now, you'll make more when we get into the bigger tournaments, but, you know, just even with some of the loss of the teams, the village still should make somewhere near $40,000 this year on tournaments. Now, that's not, I mean, that's a good piece of change, but we're going to do better than that. My whole theory for this whole thing was to have Hit and Pitch come in from Owasso for 3 years. They were here last year, this year, and next year. Between that time, Hit and Pitch will put over 500 teams in town. It's going to be free advertisement for us. These teams, with all the communications we have now, we're constantly talking all these travel ball teams, and our name is out there big time. Because just after having our first tournament last year with 28 teams, we filled all our tournaments up this year. Until we ran into a problem with the diamonds. We can't get the diamonds from the high school in September. They gave me the reason that they usually work their diamonds up in September and let them set through and so they're ready for spring. So I'm not going to argue with them on that, but anyway, that's the excuse they gave me, and that's fine. But I believe by the time we get into our 3rd year, we can make over $125,000 a year on tournaments. Now that's a lot. That's a good chunk of money, you know. And we could do things like we could pave the whole park in time. We could make everything better, make the diamonds better. And by the way, I really appreciate you guys giving me the permission to go in and refurbish those dugouts and those bleachers. They're very solid. They'll last us 20 years. They're in very good shape. As far as the Little League tournament, for the 12 and under, I've worked hard on this. I want to hold a tournament that's never happened before in the area. I want to have just rec ball teams. I don't want any travel ball teams. However, there's a lot of rec ball programs that have travel ball players playing in their rec ball. Those people will be eligible, but no full travel ball teams. I want this for our recreation people. I have uniforms lined up through Garber. They've agreed to buy me 2 sets of uniforms, one for the boys, one for the girls. their entry fees into the tournaments will be waived. I'd like to have the one in August, and if we're anywhere, where we should be so we can compete, I wanna put them in, the last tournament in September, the travel ball tournament. So that'd be 2 tournaments, wouldn't cost the school or the parents anything. Not, to play travel ball, you talk to some of those people, some of those guys pay $6,000 for a kid to play travel ball. Well, I'd like to cut the beef out of that, at least for testing. If we're gonna hold our own tournaments, I see no reason why I can't find people to buy uniforms, or possibly will have enough money to buy uniforms. And have, 14 and under, 13 and under, 12 and under, 10 and 9 under, the whole thing. There's no reason why we can't do that if we're holding our own tournaments. Now, those kids like to travel, but, we could take them over to Owasso and play in a tournament, or over to Davison. There's some close ones, but to go way up to Traverse City, or going to Canada, or, going to Cedar Point, there's no way we can afford that. Now, the price that you guys are gonna charge to rent the diamonds, to the travel ball, Mike's, not terribly disappointed. He's a little disappointed because it's quite high. He's never paid that much before to rent, that many diamonds. So, but, he told me, he says, I'll live with the town, and, we'll work something out. He was concerned, whether the 3,400 or, the 34 or 3,500, if that included, porta johns.
I don't know that off the top of my head.
I can clarify that.
Thank you.
It does not include the porta johns.
What?
It does not include the porta johns, but we did want you to get them from Sloan's.
Yeah, well, that's what I got it last year. Well, the thing is, Tom, you don't like that idea at all, and I believe me, if it's one thing I don't wanna do, I don't wanna run hit and pitch out of town, not at this point. They could do a lot of advertising for us. They can, these kids come to town, they love what they see. You should have seen the 2018s we had last year. It was magnificent down there. They played the hell out of those diamonds, and the girls had a great time. It was all girls. The only time I could put the tournament on was the first weekend in October. All the boys at that time were involved in fall sports, football and basketball, things like that. So I didn't get any boys teams, but it was wonderful to see all those kids down there. If you've never been to one, you'll have to come to some of the tournaments this year in the park. It's just amazing what these kids can do. Okay, now that's about all I have. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the 3 tournaments in August. Actually, 3 tournaments, but 2 will be the 50 and over, and the 12 and under will be together. I got enough room in the park to do that. We still have about 40 teams, 35 teams for each one. So that won't be as big a deal, and I hope to God I don't have to pay the prices that the travel teams are paying to rent the diamonds, because we won't be able to have them. I have to charge $600 for the teams to come in, and I don't want to charge that much. I'm more like a $300 guy, and we have to have 30 teams just to break even, to pay for the rental of the diamonds and the pavilions in the park. As far as vending, I've done a lot of work on that. I've talked to the Conservation Club, KC, the Legion, and the Lions to come into the park. I have an idea that I think will work really good. I'm trying to convince KC's into coming in and cooking breakfast both days. And then they could share that if they wanted to. If they wanted to take just 2 of the tournaments, that'd be fine. And I believe I can get the Conservation Club to take the other 2. And as far as the Lions and the Legion, they can come to every tournament if they wish. We're still working on that. We're still working on some of the details on the August tournaments, but the rest of our tournaments for May, June, July, and September are pretty much set. And I'm just thrilled to death that every one of them sold out. And because we lost all the diamonds at the high school, we'll only have 50 teams for that last tournament. That still gives us 250 teams this year, which is very good, I think, after, being in the game only our second year. And anyway, that's been my plan from the beginning. Hit and pitch in here, let them sell the hell out of it, because I think our facility will sell itself. I really do. We got wonderful diamonds at the high school, and these diamonds will be better again, even better than what they were last year. So anyway, has anybody got any questions?
Hey, Tom,
I think
Yes.
I did reach out to the fairgrounds, and they will accept camping.
Well,
So, if you need an extra camping, the fairgrounds is there.
yeah, as far as the camping goes, I'd like to know why they've only given me 12 primitive campsites in the park. My God, it's a big park. You know, if you take a look at the dirt road that goes around the backside of Diamond 5, which is our main diamond, our lighted diamond. That road that goes all the way around there, out from the boat launch, all the way around to the left field line on Diamond 5. I bet we could get 60 trailers backed in off that road. So they're not driving all over the grass. They're not gonna injure the walking trail or any of the shrubbery or anything like that. They have easy in and easy out. And if you people that remember when we had Showboat, now they park buses and semis and everything out there on the grass. It bounces right back up. It ain't gonna hurt it. But anyway, to make this whole thing go, the key to this, making this whole thing go, I believe, is the fact that we have all that camping in the park. We have no motels and no hotels, so we gotta rely on that. So without the primitive campsites, it's gonna cut into how many people we can draw. Because I think it'll grow I think it'll take off like a grass fire. I really do. I think, like I say, I think our facilities can sell themselves. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Alright, next up we have the 2023 holiday decorations contract proposal. The last one was not correct, so they sent us an amended one. And I believe the cost went up a little bit. Which is not.
you'd like me to clarify, somehow the last year's contract got sent to us again. The one for 2023 is $49 more than the one in 2022.
I make a motion to, accept the updated 2023 holiday decoration contract proposal as is.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next we have a request to close Broad Street for the annual car show. Nick mentioned that he wouldn't be able to be here. I think he needed to do this every year.
I make a motion to request to close the Broad Street for the car show on July 8th, where it gets started.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have appointment of Ashley Archer to sit on the Downtown Development Authority.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ashley Archer to the EDA.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, we have proposal to cost share the new digital sign for the fire department. Our cost would be $7,280.
No more than 8,000.
No? Oh,
We got some,
okay.
that's what Joe's putting in his, minutes too, that, no more than 8,000.
Okay.
Cause each day it's, the more we wait, things go up and everything else, so.
And it's a three-way split, right?
4-way.
Four-way.
It'd be the Shifting Township, the Brady Township, Village, and us, fire department, so. If you guys haven't noticed, we do have a new light out there to help light up the entranceway out there, so nobody misses the driveway at night. But the old sign's getting pretty bad.
Do you know where that would come from out of our budget?
No, did Trevor say whether it would come out of the budget?
He didn't have to say where.
So.
I'm sure we can find it. Anybody have questions for Phil? And this is all assuming all four parties vote.
Right.
So no commitment until it passes all through all
All
the
four.
parties. Okay. I'll make
And then fire board's already passed it,
okay.
so.
I'll make a,
Basically what the ones out there, what is that, Joe, you remember?
What was the question?
The size of the sign.
They're gonna use the same case, they're just gonna build the sign inside,
Sign.
it'll be the exact same size as there now.
So I think it's 3 by 5, something like that.
We have,
It's,
You can't think of anything.
Is it Agnew?
no,
They're out of
company out of Flint?
Flint area.
It's out of Flint area.
Okay,
Something like, Firewatch Signs or something like that?
That's the name of the company that does the program.
I think that's one of them.
Signs by somebody, signs
Yeah.
by Crane?
Craney.
Crane, there you
Rainy.
go.
So,
Anybody have questions for Phil?
I think it's about time we update
so there's some that's 35 to 40,000.
Crazy how much those things cost.
It all depends on your pixel, what you get.
Just get a really big TV. You wanna make the motion, Phil?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that, we accept the sheer cost of the sign for the fire department not to exceed $8,000.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported, we'll do a roll call, please.
Toma.
yes,
Marner.
Yes.
Hewitt.
Yes.
Enzo.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Chanel.
Yes.
Vicky. Yes.
Next up, we have a request from Brett Taylor to purchase Daytop Farms, it's a marijuana transfer application. Tom, is Brett currently in good standing with the village?
He is, yes.
Is Brett currently in good standing with the state?
He did just get a fine, in the month of February, yes. For,
Say that,
can't remember the
because I
date.
know.
I'd have to look it up, but I believe that he got cited in 2021, October, I believe, or September, or October of 2021. They fined him finally in February, for illegal disposal of marijuana stalk. Supposed to be ground correctly, and it was thrown into a dumpster. Also, they had a piece of their product from his home grow that he brought to the facility and tried to check into the metric system, which is the system the state uses to track everything. He was unable to do that. That's when he threw it in the dumpster, which they got him for incorrectly disposing of marijuana.
And that was in 2021.
I can't remember the month. It was before December.
I feel like it was October as well.
The fine was for, I believe, $31,000.
Also, Mr. Taylor's been in trouble with the fire department for illegal burnings too, when he was out there on 57.
How recent?
Well, since he moved it, sold it and that, and so he's been good out there, but when he had the 4-wheel place, there was burning a lot of stuff out there.
is there a reason why Mr. Taylor ain't here tonight?
I haven't heard.
I assume he'd be here, but he's not.
Yeah, that's pretty great. It's good food.
Is Daytop Farms in good standing?
They
As an
are.
organization?
They've not even begun to grow or process. So they're, I guess, not open yet, but they are paying their licensing fees.
Right, yeah, I mean, they're following all of the legal road to get to produce it.
They kept 2 licenses, I believe. They've paid for them for, I think, the last 2 years and haven't put anything to use. So it just sits vacant as of right now.
Gotcha.
So this is the same gentleman that bought the 4-wheel drive place, fought to get the licenses, and then he sold it after, as soon as he got the license, he sold the business to somebody else, and now he wants to purchase it back.
He was the original owner.
He was the
of
original
Four-Wheel
owner.
Drive Place.
Yep, he converted it, requested licenses, was granted licenses. I can't say if he immediately put it up for sale, but he did sell it. And then now he is purchasing back.
So, my only thing is we're gonna install that rule that says you have to be in good standing. In my opinion, you should be in good standing with the state and everybody. So if the fine's not paid, he can wait it out and come back and stand in front of us since he's not here right now.
So table
That's
versus,
my opinion.
table versus deny?
Like, cause he should be here if he wants to buy the property.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm in agreement with that.
And I believe he got fined, granted, it's from 2021, but I'd rather you have no fines, nothing held against you before you're trying to do something. I don't care if it's the state or local or whatever.
No,
Because we want that rule in place, we need to start following.
You wanna make a motion on it?
Table it until he can show up here and he's in good standing with everybody.
I don't
There's
think
your
we need a
motion.
We're
Don't really need a motion to table it.
No, we don't need a motion.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll table that for later. The MyOSHA proposed settlement agreement relative to the Fayetteville Department of Works accident in 2022. You notice they reduced the fine
Yes.
from $14,000 to $7,000. I don't think there's much more we can do about it. But we do need a motion if you pay it.
I'll make a motion, we paid the settlement agreement.
So far.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the request for a refund for the Shovel Park Pavilion. This is actually a good topic for the Parks Committee to discuss. If we should set refund policy, maybe a little shorter. Whatever. Basically, she rented the pavilion, isn't getting the turnout. It's not till August. So, chances are we can re-rent that. But it needs our approval to give it.
What have we done in the past? What's the precedent that we've already set for this?
I don't know that we've had it. I can remember.
I don't know either.
I mean, example time is like, what, 3-4 months away,
Yeah.
so it's not like 30 days where you.
Yeah, I think we're next week would be a different story.
When it's rented, is there something that, is there disclosure at the bottom that says non-refundable?
Yes,
Or,
it says read on the form.
and that form is filed some.
Yeah, be in the office. I feel like it's a little hard to say no
No, I
when
agree.
it's that far out.
But we should probably, going forward as of this, we should probably set some type of timeline and or, you know, a percentage, what most places do for refunding, I believe.
Update the contracts too.
Sure. Is it
Sounds like a
percentage?
good job for the Parks Committee.
Sure does. I'll make a motion to approve the refund for Miss Maxwell of $70.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Carried. Committee report, superstructure.
As you know, tree removal started this week on Front Street. So as soon as they get the tree done, that consumers will come in and start moving poles.
Are they expecting outages when they do that?
No, I don't think so. So they'll put the poles up and just transfer the wires. So they never did say anything about any shut down any power or anything.
They are taking the lumber with them, right?
Right. And I haven't heard anything from. Have you heard anything from Nolan that when they're going to start digging on Pete in front?
No, I haven't heard anything change.
Yeah. So once these poles are moved and everything else, that's probably when the project really starts digging in that on Pete and Front Street, and then they work north. So, and that's it.
All right, finance and admin?
Do you have anything left?
I don't think so. We went over the.
Tommy ruined it. I'm just saying.
We went over the marijuana report. We discussed Tom. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Public Safety Committee, EDA.
Their agenda remained pretty much similar, except what we took action on tonight, appointing and welcoming Ashley to UVA.
Usually we'll have a meeting later this month, I believe, planning commission,
No meeting.
airport.
Yes, we did. The year's underway. And Sean was there. People were freaking out. End of the world type stuff. Basic, they went over what they have in their bank account. That's irrelevant. The updates, they're gonna night merchandise show April 30th. They have new lights in their hangar, so it'll be nice and bright so everybody can see. The Stoll event is still tentatively scheduled. They didn't say it's still going on. They just,
Yeah, it's barring the gentleman.
yes, August 12th and 13th. The Dawn Patrol and Craft Show will still be the weekend after 4th of July, July 8th and July 9th. And they will be using child safety laws with customers.
Are they going to, exterminate those roles like they did last year?
They didn't, they do.
It was funny, I was gonna ask you if you found that answer yet.
They would like the village to go out there and roll the south end of the one runway. They're popping up. Okay. They just need it rolled.
Not gonna do line this year.
Well, they think they remember what they were taught last year.
I'll go out there and give them a tune up.
I said, Tom finds out he's coming, so Tom now knows there are moles attacking the runway. But they wanted to get someone out there to roll it possibly for them so they can start attacking, that's all.
You know, I'd like to know when they roll that,
All right,
because that's a good time, you know, somebody give me a call, I'd like to go the next day,
okay.
pretty much kill them all in 3 days and be done with it again.
Yes, they learned.
Fireboard?
We have 7 runs, bringing a total of 47. Tomorrow is ladder testing day. Also tomorrow, Chief Falls is gonna have some minor surgery done, so we'll be out for a few weeks. We did go over our 23-24 budget, we got that set, and any adjustments we gotta do, we'll do it, at the next meeting. Mass testing is gonna be mandatory for everybody, that's April 2nd and 3rd. This past Sunday, they went through the new marijuana place in Oakley and went through it and walked, and there was some things that brought up that they had to do. So like, put down gas lines up here at, you know, O2 or CO2, wherever they are, you gotta mark all that stuff so that you know where everything's at, but it looks pretty good in there, they said. I didn't make it. The next fire board meeting is April 12th, at 6 o'clock.
So, task force, no meeting. Parks committee?
We met last Monday, the 13th. There was not a lot accomplished. We had a lot of discussion. Tom came with a beautiful contract that we sorted through for Mr. Tdoff, added some things, subtracted some things. We had some discussion on the job description that we would like to see for the possible hire for our park liaison. We agreed that they would likely mirror our summer help. Time frame of April 1st to November 1st, give or take. Obviously, we're not going to hit the November 1st date this year based on the fact that we don't even have a job description out yet.
What were the dates you were?
April 1st to November 1st is our tentative dates. DPW has a seasonal clause in their contract that allows them to make around $12.50 an hour. There was some heavy discussion about that. The list of things that are going to be expected to be handled, I feel, kind of fall out of the realm of $12.50 an hour. Most of it will be weekend work when the park is most busy. There was some suggestion about this position being a 40-hour week, and they kind of had a floating schedule of if there's not a busy weekend, they can get their hours in during the week, but if there was a busy weekend in the park, then they need to make sure that they're in the park for the weekend. And that was about it. We didn't really get into the nitty gritty of what needs to happen.
Did you get into the responsibilities?
We did discuss some responsibilities. We had DPW and wastewater, my apologies. Yeah, wastewater treatment here. They were helpful based on what some of the employees that we've had in the past covered down there. Things like mowing, I think DPW is going to hang on to. There's mostly because they have summer help that helps with that. They think that there can be a full schedule down there for the worker.
Yeah, and even picking up trash and cleaning up sites.
Sure. Picking up sites, checking people in. We went through a rough draft of it. There was also some question on what contractually starts to dip into what DPW currently does. So Donna and I believe Mark, we're going to talk with Troy and look at the contracts, navigate that in a way that gives us a better idea of what we can put in the job description. Our plan is to meet in April on the 3rd.
Just to clarify, we do think there's a way to pay them a little more than $12.50. We just would need some agreement from the DPW, but we don't think it will be an issue, so.
Great.
I think we have to figure it out.
Okay, wonderful.
Do you have any idea of where they would be posted? Like, would they be in that barn? Do we need to build a small structure to?
Mark had suggested that we take the ice skating structure down there and post it near one of the lots where it will not be in the way.
I'm thinking maybe by that dumpster.
Sure. And we will obviously have the ability for the DPW to have the barn, or for that person to use the barn that's there also.
We also have the AV booth that needs to come down. I doubt we'll get it down in time, but for the future, we could maybe pull that down, build it out with walls on it. And that'd be bigger.
Sure.
The DPW guys actually said one of the vending buildings is in good shape. All they gotta do is plug water in and some viable building to use as well, so.
Probably smell better than being next to the dumpster.
What was that?
Might smell better than being located next to the
Sure.
dumpster in July.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they were saying. They cleaned up the one, I don't know if it's the last year's church, but they got one cleaned up and it's in good shape and usable, so.
I noticed the ticket booth office is still in really good shape too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's from the 70s, but that's the way it's always looked.
And that shag carpet, that served us well for many years.
Still there.
The contract took a large portion of our meeting. I was unaware that was coming forward, so.
Who would handle violations down, if there's any violations down there?
It would have to be the enforcement officer, if we're handing out citations.
But I mean, the worker would be,
The attendant has no police authority.
I mean, if she sees violations, I mean, if she can't.
Would have to report it.
Okay.
That's why our ordinance officer is a part-time officer or liaison, because they have the police authority to actually hand out a citation. The chief can correct me, but I'm pretty sure, right?
And most of the time, we'll make sure they have our number, our patrol cell number, so if anything comes up, they can just call and we can come down there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that on the 3rd we can put an official description together that we'll be able to post and offer for improvement.
That's all?
Can I ask a question? What are the plans of the councils, as far as the 5 vending buildings, down there?
We don't have any yet.
You know what?
We don't have any plans yet.
No plans? Well, I'd just like to say that those are block buildings. They're very solid. They're good buildings. They need new roofs.
Yeah, they do.
I put together a skeleton crew that will come in and put the shingles on for nothing. I'm gonna try and see if I can get shame somebody into donating the shingles.
We're also working possibly with the Legion on one of the buildings, offered to rehab one if they can use it.
Well, boy, I hope you don't intend to knock those buildings down, anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Good.
We've asked for years to lease the buildings.
Yeah.
Lease that building.
Yeah, that's gonna be another thing I have parks talk about. Not buy, but lease. All right, moving on into public comment on any topic. Terry Franco Trust.
Just because it came up tonight, I think it would be nice if the village would find a way to discount the cost of those diamonds to bring this to town, and this is gonna be a thing that could make money for this community in the future.
How did you come up with the price, Tom, do you know?
I just went to the fee schedule and went to what the pavilions cost every day and each diamond costs every day. Added it up, added another DPW employee, which would cost around $160. And then we do need another dumpster down there, so I budgeted $250 for that. The number we came up with was like $3,760 or something in that area, and we just a round number at $3,500. That's where that number came from.
Well, I think those diamonds would sit empty if they weren't being used. So you might as well give people to town to spend the money any way you can. Give them a little bit of a discount on that. Yep.
Thank you, Pam. Nellie Detweiler?
I mean, everything I was here to support the Evan Hall kid when you're my age. His promotion on there because last week when somebody said something about him just being a comedian, I worked for 36 years for a company and I retired at the wages that everybody's hoping that he wasn't going to get this year. But I got education in lieu of wages and I ended up retiring very nicely and I earned every cent of it. And I was just a cookie clerk when I got that job. So I'm glad we're hiring him again.
Thank you, Nellie. Mike Greenfelder?
My name is Mike Greenfelder. I live at 122 North Clark Street. I also pay taxes inside the village on not only businesses, but rental properties, my own house, everything else. I'm here for a couple of reasons tonight. Number one, I fully support John Evan Hall receiving this position. And after 2 weeks ago, when people personally attack somebody, they still want the job. I think that said a lot about them. Having said that, why these opinions that we seem to be getting here, I've sat on both sides of this. I've been on this side, and I've served on the village council. And when people come in from out of town with no interest in our taxes, no interest in anything else, they want to give their opinion every week, and normally, it's negative. I'd like to see somebody who's coming sometime from outside of town and say what a wonderful job they're doing, but that doesn't seem to be the way it works. As far as the resumes, which people were also talking about last week, I've got a resume that I could turn in for you from somebody who has 2 doctorates at Notre Dame. Probably has more education in the entire building cumulative, and I think she looked fantastic on paper. And then when you hire her, she's going to be a 93-year-old retired nurse for nothing. So I don't see where the people that want resumes to look at have anything to say. You can read anything you want on paper. The other thing is you certainly don't want somebody sending you pictures. She is white, so nobody has to be offended by that idea, but the people that would expect to see pictures of people and why they want to sit around and read the resumes of the job that we elected you guys to do, it's just undermining your authority is basically all it's doing. Some of the other problems I have in the hypocrisy of this town, you can take people who will sell their property at over market value to a dispensary, sign that deal, turn around, come in here and stab them in the back week after week after week. Says nothing more than they don't seem to understand what they're saying. You can't complain to somebody if they want to have an issue on this. I think they should buy in town, pay the taxes, step in front of this council and tell you what you're doing wrong. Well, go ahead, throw your hat in the ring, be part of it, be part of the solution, not just sit here and tell you about what all the problems are. We have a lot of things in this town that we should be worried about, but apparently some people are just micro-focused on marijuana. I'll throw a couple out there. I respond to an elevator. For 3 months out of the year, I have to keep my windows closed because it's too loud all night and throws bees wings all over everything I own. I have a sister-in-law with $1 million business across the street that is flooded with stuff from Irish farms. She doesn't complain because for every industry there's a price somebody has to pay. And if you're going to complain about all of them, then we have to complain about burning animals in town, pig farmers outside of town that are spreading manure, any farmer that spreads manure as it comes in. I said, we should be very happy about the odors we do have in this town. I don't know if anybody's been through Montrose in July, but it's horrible. Even in their schools, I walked out of the schools one day, asked what it was, and they said it's just the way the wind blows from that. I said, I can't imagine how many people have a problem with that one too. Having said that, I was here number one, just to say that I think Tommy Evanhoe deserves more than just a slight wave of the hand or something else. People that are attacking him are attacking his personal character. They're not attacking anything else. They seem to be hooked on the fixation that because he's the marijuana representative who deals with all these people, make sure that they're in line, that he's suddenly all in favor of it. It wouldn't matter if he was in favor of it or not in favor of it. He's here to do his job. If he can do the job, I don't know anybody has a problem with that. The last administrator we had, I tried 3 weeks in a row to get a hold of him. 3. 5 times I actually stopped in the office. They told me, go on this week, here next week, out of the office, can't be bothered with right now. When I finally did catch him, I caught him outside the door. He gave me about 3 words and shooed me away. And that's not the kind of people we need in this town. Tommy is somebody you can talk to, somebody you can listen to, and somebody who's going to get you an answer. If you ask him a question, he finds out the right answer and he comes back and gives it to you. I don't need to stand in front of a guy and say, if you don't know it, then you're a moron, you need to get off the job. The idea is to have a person you can talk to, who can get the job done, and can get the information that you need as a village resident. Aside from that, that's really about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. All right, any council member wish to make a statement?
I just got one thing to say. We did get an update on the roof for the fire department. It should be starting in June, maybe.
June, maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah, it depends on when they can get the steel.
Whatever, dude.
So, we're hoping.
Are you waiting for the foundry to open?
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Has Troy supplied us with any type of exit plan so that you can go over things with Tom and?
We do not have one yet, but Tom has been basically doing the job.
Right.
When's the date is he leaving?
End of this month, I believe.
In the March or May, April?
Probably in the March. He'll still be on call if Tom has questions or something for April, but he should be able to do that.
I'd like to say something regarding Mike, what you were saying. I don't think anybody on this board attacked Tom.
No, absolutely not. No.
I mean, that was an incident, I just want to clarify. I felt that nobody on this board did.
No, I apologize. That is not an insinuation I intended to make. It was not you guys attacked.
Anybody else? All right, moving on. We have Chief Short.
I'll hand out the stats when we're done. I had a late call, so I was running a little late. Basically, I want to come tonight to share some exciting news. I'm working with Matt, talking with Troy and Tommy. Progressive Dog Club and AKC have giving us the $13,000 to buy a canine for the police department. That'll cover the dog, the training, and all the supplies, which is huge. I worked with Family Farm and Home. They will supply the dog food for the dog's life at no fee to us. We have a local vet that is going to be giving us his services. The only thing we'll have to pay for is at-cost vaccines, which is next to nothing. We're also working with an organization that will start a nonprofit for the dog. So they will do fundraising, and the dog will basically fund itself through the fundraising with little to no cost to the village. Any money that has to be put into the dog, like you might see the $13,000 on there for the dog. The checks were given, but I just needed a check from the council to be able to get the dog. His name is Leo. He's a Malinois. We'll be getting him at the beginning of May. So he should be done with his training, and then Sergeant Connor will start working with him and doing the training with him. He'll be trained to detect 5 narcotics. He'll be a tracking dog. We'll be able to use him at public events to do demonstrations. Anybody have any questions? It's a huge opportunity for us.
Which dog did they have out to the fire department when they did that?
Leo was there. There's Leo, and then there was a Dutch Shepherd, which actually Saginaw City's getting him. He was another option. We fell in love with Leo. We're getting him from Magnum Canine, which most of the departments in Saginaw County get their canines from them or from him, and they'll be doing their continuous training with the supplier as well. And that's all in the cost of the $13,000.
Does that include body armor for the dog too?
No, and actually we've been looking at grants for that because we'll be able to get a grant to provide that. But he's only 14 months old, so they don't recommend it until he's 2 years old because he won't be fully grown until then.
Okay.
So we might have to wait. I'm trying to figure out if we can find something temporary, but.
Will you all be trained to handle them, or will you just?
No, this is, a canine is just with one person. Sergeant Connor lives in town. I wouldn't bring him home. I have a 5-year-old and an 11-year-old. I mean, he's a working dog. I just wouldn't trust him around my kids with the way they are, 5-year-old. So he'll be living right in town with Sergeant Connor. He will be available, at all times. Down here, we're kind of alone in the southern part of the county. So if another department in the area, they have a track or something, we'll also make it available. It'll be great. We have 3 nursing homes in town here. If somebody walks away, he'll be trained to track. A child, he'll be able to track. So it's a great opportunity for us to be able to utilize them. As we all know, we have drugs in town. So I know, crazy, right? Little testing. I'm not talking about marijuana.
Been that way. But they did the people that was out there that seen the dog work at the fire department, he was impressed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there any questions? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Glenn was one of the firefighters was at the fire department when he was up there. We got to see him in action.
He was impressed.
Yeah. So yeah. He's a good dog. He'd be a good fit.
Well, good. When we get him, we'll plant meth on somebody in the audience.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, thank you, Chief.
I will bring him, once we get him and get him settled in, I'll bring him to a meeting, have Scott bring him, and then y'all can see him and maybe pet him, I don't know. I'm still trying to feel out, how,
You only can sniff out drugs, right?
What's that?
You can only sniff out drugs, correct?
Correct. Nothing else in your drink. Thank you.
Hey, Chief, I got one question.
Yeah.
Got any updates on what's been going on cars and that?
Yeah, yep. I can't say much on it, but yes, and we do have, yep.
Did you get what I told you? When I texted you?
Yeah, because then he came up here.
Okay.
Yep, he ended up, I looked out and he was here, so I just took care of it here. But we do have it, we should be getting warrants soon, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. Do we have any topics for the marijuana ordinances?
How they doing in the...
Huh?
How they doing in the finance?
I don't know who you're talking to.
How they doing in finance?
Why you always look at me?
You guys on
Mr. Chair.
We're the big no.
We're the big man.
There was very little discussion
No.
this week.
The only thing I mentioned is the thing I mentioned when we were talking about Red Taylor, that we added, you need to be in good standing. Before you can do anything moving forward, which shouldn't even have to write it down, but.
Right.
Is any of the previous work we did, has that gone through legal yet?
No, I'm gonna get over the attorney probably this week early. And he's got a pretty quick turnaround. I would expect less than a month to get it all back.
Correct.
Ready.
Yeah. Well, to put it into legally.
Right. Well, I think some of the things we were discussing will be hindered on those first two that we're hoping to move forward. So. Not everything.
vacant job position out of Tommy.
He's gonna continue doing that as well, for now at least, until we get.
Is there any, let me ask, is there any reason why we can't give it to the ordinance officer?
I think he's got his plate full. He's only part-time.
I said, we
And
can't,
especially when summer comes up, he gets a little more busy, because of people not cutting his grass.
well, I know that Troy had a lot of, problems with, that's why we hired an ordinance officer person, that he couldn't handle both jobs, so.
We had always had an ordinance officer. We just
As a
lost.
marijuana ordinance officer, that's why.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Tommy, I mean, that's why we hired Mr. Evanhoe, cause Mr. Feldman said he didn't have enough time to deal with that stuff, so. I was wondering,
I think maybe we get to that first 3-month eval, we should think about that and see if he can't handle it, then yeah, we should look at paying reassigning or hiring somebody.
Tommy lives here, so he's not 24 hours.
I believe, Tommy, you were hired when, James was still here, were you not? Or just
Hired when Troy was still
the
here.
tail end though?
The tail
I believe you hired James in January and you were hired in December. So, yeah.
Is that it, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we'll need to move into executive session, and we'll leave the room, please.
Yeah, she either.
From last meeting. I know that
Green
was-
light.
There we go, green light.
Oh, well,
I just thought it was probably some of the best work. That, I
Good,
know there was a lot of.
Yeah.
It's on.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are adjourned.
yeah, that was,
I just
that
thought
was a lot.
it would be nice for you to hear that.
Thank you.
And,
Yay!